Pittsburgh, and after last night's rainout, they're looking to put the 7-game road trip behind them and bounce back from that rough first homestand. PNC Park provided some great moments for the Pirates last year, and beginning tonight, the Young Bucks are hoping to treat their home fans to a holiday weekend filled with hits and wins. The first of 3 against the veteran Livan Hernandez and the Nats is next on Root Sports. The Bucks are back home tonight, and it's a night for Kutch 22. Andrew McCutcheon action figures being given out to all fans heading through the gates and into the ballpark tonight as we get you set up for Game 1 of a 3-game set between the Washington Nationals and the Pirates. Hi again, everyone, along with Steve Glass. I'm Tim Neverett. The rainout last night gave the Pirates a little extra rest and a little more time for Brandon Wood, the newest acquisition, to get here from the West Coast.
Yeah, Tim, let's be honest. There is a definite concern at the shortstop position for the Pirates. It's been a struggle for Ronnie Cedeno. And this young man, Brandon Wood, a very good pedigree, a #1 choice, struggled at the major league level with the Angels, but really tore it up in the minor leagues. So perhaps a change of scenery is just what this young man needs.
Pirates manager Clint Hurdle is very familiar with the skill set of Brandon Wood.
He's a solid defender, can play 3 positions. The bat is the question, but opportunity probably hasn't been as long as he would have liked or they would have liked to give him from time to time. We think we have that opportunity for him here, whether it be some time at third, time at short, time at first. We're probably going to throw the little glove on him to see what he can do at second as well, and get him in the batter's box and see if we can help him make a difference and reignite the swing.
The roster move to get Wood here. Pedro Siriaco, who was called up as a placeholder yesterday, sent back to AAA, and Rule 5 pick Josh Rodriguez designated for assignment. Pitching matchup, Livan Hernandez for the Nationals. The veteran will take on Jeff Karstens, who makes his second start of the year. We'll talk about them when we come back. It's the Nationals and the Pirates. Your turn to root is coming up.
is sponsored by Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. Let's go Bucks!
Welcome back to PNC Park with Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett, and we're getting ready to play baseball this Saturday night as the Bucks and Washington Nationals are getting closer to starting game one of this three-game set. It was supposed to be last night, rained out, rescheduled for Monday, but tonight pushed back about an hour and 10 minutes or so before we can get things going. Jim Riggleman, the manager for the Nationals, and Clint Hurdle, the Pirates skipper, exchanging lineup cards at home plate. And you know, the pitchers, it wasn't as though they came out early, Steve, and warmed up. They are on a regular schedule at this point in time because they were told early enough about the delay.
Yeah, it's still not much fun waiting in there as you watch Livan Hernandez, the veteran. You know, he's probably more used to this than Jeff Carson's, but they know the drill. You just, you know, when you're getting ready to start to warm up, thinking about it around 6:30, you sit around, you can't help but get a little flat. So what you have to do is pick yourself up by the heels, say, all right, hey, it's done. I can't do anything about it. I got to get out there, and I've got to get ready to pitch a ball game. And many times it comes down to who gets to that point first. Okay, you acknowledge what happened. Just like on a cold night, you acknowledge it's cold and then you go about your work. Now you acknowledge there's a delay and you try to get yourself to where you were around 6:30, so you are ready to crank it up and start a Major League Baseball game. So many times it'll depend on who can get to that point and who is at that point when they start this thing.
Going over the ground rules right now. We appreciate everybody's patience tonight as we have a delayed start due to the weather. And when the fans came in to the ballpark, that's what they got. They got the box filled with the Andrew McCutchen action figure, thanks to PNC, who sponsored the giveaway tonight. And let's check in with our third member, Lacey Collins, who's downstairs.
Well, Tim, I'm with a group of fans because, as you just mentioned, every single one of them got the Andrew McCutchen action figure. I was talking to 6-year-old Ian. His favorite part is the dirt on the pants. He says it's because he likes to get messy. Well, earlier today I talked to Kutch about his new action figure, and he said he liked the dirt because if you see, he's standing on the base, and so he means he got safe. Now, Jeff Bannister was teasing him because he said it's too short, he's too little. He says he really likes it. He says it does a great job of showing off his muscles, although he says he could still take a few more pounds. But he was getting some, teases with it and says he could even be more buffer. I don't know. He looks pretty puff. I told him I thought he should have a cape hanging off the back of him. He said he liked that idea, but he could play with an invisible one. So maybe that's kind of how you could see it as well. Earlier today, though, he was talking about his action figure. Well, we're also later on today going to talk about Kutch's crew making their debut tonight in upper left field. I'm going to go check them out and see what that's all about. So I'm going to head up there, guys. I hope you enjoy your action figure that I brought you, just like everybody else here in the ballpark tonight.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Lacey. We got a capeless McCutchen one, but you may need a cape to get up there to section 333.
I'll tell you one thing. Andrew McCutchen is action. However you design the action figure, this guy is action. He is action. And I'll tell you one thing, too. You are going to catch it from your teammates whenever you have these things. Whether you're a superstar, whether you're a guy, if you are portrayed this way, and it's kind of a neat thing, but you're going to hear it from your teammates. They're going to give it to you pretty good. And I guess that's a compliment in its own right. So we're going to play some baseball.
We are indeed. Jeff Karstens will be facing the Nationals lineup that Jim Riggleman sends out with Danny Espinosa, the switch hitter, batting in the first spot. Rick Ankiel second. Jason Worth, acquired this year from the Phillies. Former Bunko Adam LaRoche in the cleanup spot. Wilson Ramos behind the plate. Michael Morse. Then Ian Desmond, very talented shortstop. Jerry Hairston Jr., the third baseman. And a fairly good hitting pitcher, Livan Hernandez, will bat ninth.
I don't know if the telestrator works. That's a key. Ryan Zimmerman, their horse, is not in there. So how about that? My first telestrator of the year. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Steve.
But that's going to be a factor for Jeff Carson's not having to face Ryan Zimmerman.
Was that a clockwise or a counterclockwise circle? I didn't see it.
As long as the ends touched.
So Jeff Karstens 1-0.
Yep,
Makes his second start.
After three outings from the bullpen. And as we said, Jeff, a valuable guy. He can give you innings out of the bullpen. He can start for you. What you have seen in the past with his starts many times, and not all the time, is the fact that the first 5, he is pretty strong, and then there have been times after the 5th inning where you got to watch him pretty close. But I think he's a valuable member of the staff.
67 degrees as we get this one underway at 8:16 p.m. An hour and 11 minutes. The official rain delay. And the wind blowing out to left, straight out to left. Could be a factor in this game. 0-2 to Danny Espinosa.
And Jeff has had a couple of career starts against the Nationals. It has not gone all that well. 0-1 with a pretty substantial ERA.
0-2 pitch and missed outside.
Yeah, we were looking for the kind of start we were hoping for Jeff Carson's when that kid from Washington started his first game.
And that was Steven Strasburg last June. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Espinosa down on strikes, and an auspicious beginning for Jeff Karstens.
Curveball drops in there very nicely. Range Resources strike zone showing that breaking ball. Downstairs on the outside corner. Out of that good hitting zone. Well done.
So here is Rick Ankiel. And Ankiel takes ball 1. Very interesting distinction about Ankiel, Steve. He is the only player on the Nationals roster to have a win at Three Rivers Stadium.
As a pitcher.
He won there as a pitcher.
Oh, yeah. He had a great start to his career.
And he drives this one to the gap in left center field. McCutcheon cuts it off deep. Ankiel going for 2. Here's the throw. Hayes!
Out. He's out of there.
He's got him.
Paul Nauert, second base umpire, called him out. Not a definitive call, but out nonetheless, and nicely done in left center field, getting that ball into second base, catching Rick Ankiel trying to stretch it. As Andrew, that action figure in action.
Well, Paul Nauert fooled me. He moved both his arms. The umpire did. I thought he was going to call him safe.
Now you've got an issue there because the tag by Neil Walker up on the body, and that arm was sliding in underneath, leading me to believe that call could have gone either way.
I think Nauert changed his mind halfway through. Jason Worth takes strike 1. So 2 down, top of the first inning. Outfield assist for Andrew McCutcheon, and what a nice throw to Neil Walker.
Yep.
Walker laying the tag down. Worth pops it up. This will be playable in right field for Garrett Jones. And a 1-2-3, top of the first for Jeff Karstens. 9 pitches for Jeff, certainly worth the wait. Andrew McCutcheon leads off when we come back to PNC Park. Toyota Pirates lineup. McCutchen at the top of the order. Jose Tabata, then Lyle Overbay. Neil Walker hits cleanup. Garrett Jones in the 5th spot. Ryan Domet hitting 6th. Pedro Alvarez 7th. Cedeno in the 8th spot, and Jeff Karstens will bat 9th. And the Pirates will get set to face the veteran right-hander Livan Hernandez.
Making career start number 450. He has won 168 of those starts. What he's done so far this year in his first 4 appearances. Start number 5 tonight. He said this guy not all that much middle ground. When he is on, he is as tough as they get. When he's not, he is very hittable.
Andrew McCutchen.
Getting a lot of Andrew McCutchen early in the game.
Yes, we are.
Andrew
yes,
McCutchen.
We are. He's got his crew ready to go. As seen on Root Sports. They've got the pennant notches in the logo. They've been doing their homework. It's on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. 212 the average, looking to raise that. 3 homers and 10 runs knocked in. Kutch began the year in the 3rd spot in the order, and since the road trip starting in Cincinnati, he's been hitting leadoff.
Livan Hernandez, always known for his good control. He has started 4 games this year. He's walked a total of 5 batters.
And the 2-1. Kutch looks at it outside 3-1. We're not going to see a lot of velocity out of Livan Hernandez. In fact, some of his pitches, especially when he goes to a slow curveball, he may not break the speed limit in most states. But that's just how he pitches. And Kutch bangs one to left field. A leadoff single. We've got action.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have an action figure night for every guy. And if it starts this way, if it goes this way, we'll cover everybody 4 times. Great play in center field on the throw, and now a bullet to get the Pirates' offensive machine started.
Jose Tabata coming up now with McCutchen at first base. And Tabata did not have a terrific end to the road trip. He was 0 for Florida. That wasn't where he has been all season. He goes to right field, and this one is going to be off the glove of Worth. Around second and heading for third is McCutchen, and in safely at second is Tabata. Second and third, nobody out.
Ignition. And hopefully we're looking forward to the Jose Tabata action figure night.
Is that tomorrow?
Well, we could put something together pretty quickly, probably. A good start for the Pirates. And a right-hand bat is going to slice that ball continually away from the right fielder. So as Worth goes over, that ball's still trying to run away from him. And he's not able to catch up with it. And the Bucs are in business. Andrew making sure that it is not caught, and then no sense to take any risk. Nick Leyva holding everybody up. Second and third, nobody out is just fine at this point.
Well, McCutchen down there at third, and Tabata in at second base with his 5th double of the year. Lyle Overbay, 1 ball, no strikes. Lyle has 5 doubles also. He's a guy who generally is going to get you 30 or more doubles in a season. It seems to be well on his way.
Yep, that's been his resume. Gap hitter.
Hernandez ready to go on the 1-0 pitch. Down the line, foul.
And we told you about Hernandez being hot and cold. Last time out against Milwaukee, terrific. 7 innings, 1 run given up. But his second start of the year against Florida, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 5 walks. And the other 3 starts, no walks. So very much out of character in that start. He usually is very much around the strike zone.
1 ball, 1 strike to Lyle Overbay. He wants time. Livan Hernandez ready to go. And the pitch. Pulled foul up the first baseline.
You know, when you think about tips to winning this ball game, as you look at this ball just outside the chalk, when you talk about working against Livan Hernandez, I think you've got to be aggressive early in the count. I think that's one of the tips to getting to him, because his control is so good. Once he gets you behind in the count or gets you deep in the count, he can pretty much move that ball around. Again, not a lot of velocity, but rather not get him deep in the count, I would believe it. Be aggressive, because he's going to move the ball around on you.
We'll check out Steve's other tips to win from Rivers Casino in just a little bit. Steve has more tips to win. 2 on, nobody out. 1-2. And Overbay gets it toward the middle. That'll be a run, and that'll be a base hit. 1-0 Pirates. An RBI for Lyle Overbay, his 9th.
And that time the shift with Espinosa playing over toward first base works against the Nationals, and Overbay, who can pull the ball certainly against a guy like Livan Hernandez especially, just a routine ground ball, but wide enough away from Espinosa up toward the middle where he's not able to do much with it. Once it got beyond the reach of the pitcher, as you'll see here, once that's beyond Livan Hernandez, you can see Espinosa has a long way to go. He can't do anything but stop the ball and save a run for the time being.
Overbay aboard. Last year, Hernandez had lefties hitting .295 against him. Walker trying to go the other way. That's a strike. He gave up 10 home runs to left-handers last year. Livan Hernandez, who in 1995 defected from Cuba, was making $6 a month as a Cuban professional athlete at the time of his defection. Making just a little more than that now.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Runners off the corners, and Walker slaps it foul, 0-2.
74 miles an hour, almost a double hitch by Neil Walker. Thinking about taking that ball because it was so slow, saying, okay, well, maybe I will take a shot at it. Fouls it away.
I think the one thing you have to watch for with Hernandez when he throws all that off-speed stuff at you is when he tries to throw the straight one. You slip that by you when you're not looking. Hernandez ready to deliver the 0-2 pitch to Neil Walker. And he slips the fastball by him at 84 miles an hour. And now let's check out the rest of Steve's tips to win, brought to you by Rivers Casino.
Yep, make him come into the strike zone. And yeah, keep Kutch's crew on their feet. That's always a good thing to do. And Jeff Carson's eat some innings. And if you want to add a fourth, see if you can get on the other side of the second inning. The second inning has been very tough on Pirate starting pitchers.
And it has also been the best inning offensively for the Nationals this year.
We've got an example of what the average Livan Hernandez fastball can be when it's set up.
Garrett Jones takes ball 1.
That strikeout to Neil Walker, strikeout of Neil Walker, 84 miles an hour after seeing all that soft stuff. And that's when Hernandez is at his best.
(2-0). Jones had a pretty good road trip. Finally got the ball around. Now he's got 3 home runs, all of them on the road, all of them solo shots. I talked to him the other day about that, Steve, and he said it's just a matter of time before he starts hitting it with guys on. He's got 2 here. And he takes ball 3. 3-0.
I think what you want to do when you get off to this kind of start, second and third, nobody out, you want to make sure that you get that second guy in. In other words, you're basically thinking that second and third, the guy from third is going to score 98% of the time. But make sure you max out at least getting that second runner in this case, Tabata. After that, you're in the bonus round.
Jones green lighted 3-0 and fouled it back. Garrett on the road trip went 7 out of 18 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs in his last 6 games. And he's still looking for his first hit at PNC Park this year. Does not have a hit at home yet.
Be a nice time to do that. The Nats, by the way, giving the Pirates that second run playing back. They're looking for a ground ball.
Hernandez stretch the 3-1 to Garrett Jones. Off speed, falls in for a strike.
68 miles an hour. Take a look at the hook. Curveball. Just dropping down in there. under 70 miles an hour.
Well, full count. Overbay at first base. We'll see what he does. 1 out, 1 run is in.
Going to get that high fastball again after the hook. Doesn't look like they want it downstairs.
Hernandez took his time and looked over at Overbay.
Yeah, Levon is never in really a rush.
No, he's got nowhere to go. Three balls, 2 strikes. Hernandez has his sign, and now the payoff pitch to Jones. Foul back.
Yep, there's that same program that they used on Neil Walker. Get the 2 strikes and then show you that average fastball that looks a lot faster after the slow stuff.
Barrel Automotive League leaders, active career leaders, and games started with this one tonight. Levon Hernandez, 450. Tim Wakefield, former Bucco, now the Red Sox at 440. Barrel Automotive, definitely worth the click. Barrel.com. Jones to right field. Worth going back, and he won't get it. Tabata will score easily around second, and heading for third is Overbay, and Jones has his first hit at PNC Park in 2011. It's an RBI double, and the Pirates lead it 2-0 in the bottom of the first.
And that ball was well hit, but I think Jason Worth with a better jump would have had a very, very legitimate chance of catching that ball. I don't know whether he didn't see it, didn't break on it, misjudged it or whatever, but the ball is hit well enough. But Jason Worth right there looks like he's got it measured, and then, no, I don't. Of course, with 2 outs, everybody in motion. Excuse me, with one out, not everybody in motion, but once they saw that, it was easy.
Jones to the wall. He's got his first double of the season as well. Second and third for Ryan Domit. Rips it to the right side. That's a base hit. Jones will be held at third as Overbay comes in to make it a 3-0 game.
Aggressive early in the count. Ryan Domit sees something he likes, bang.
We gotta like it.
Goes down and takes that ball downstairs. The left-handers love to pull that ball down in the strike zone. And a little bit of a conference. And again, Tim, not to beat this into the ground, but the more you see pitches from Levon Hernandez, the more he's going to change speeds and mess your rhythm up. You're going to be out in front. You're going to be back on your heels, out in front. And the deeper in the count you go, the more it, I think, swings to his advantage. Well, the Pirates being pretty aggressive and get some action, and they're still in business.
Pedro Alvarez takes strike 1. Pedro went 3 out of 4 in his last game in the finale against the Florida Marlins. And at that time, he was in a 3 for 23 stretch, but ended up 3 for 4, had a single, a double in his first home run of the year. Drove in 2. And the 0-1 is in there for a called strike. This is one of the issues that Pedro's had, getting himself in too many 0-2 counts. He'll have to swing his way out here. Still 1 out, 2 on, 3 in, 5 hits so far in the bottom half of the first. Fights that one off. Count will stay 0-2.
Mid-season form for Levon Hernandez. Gets to 2 strikes. Did it on Walker. Did it on Jones. Try to come upstairs with an 84-mile-an-hour fastball.
Greg Ritchie, the hitting coach, working hard with Pedro, especially on his off days. This is the 25th pitch from Hernandez, and it's fouled back.
He comes back to back with those fastballs now, and you wonder if he'll go back to soft or try to lull Pedro into thinking he's going to go in that direction and stay with that less than average fastball.
And Pedro takes inside. Domit heading down to second base. He is going to be safe. The shortstop, Ian Desmond, dropped the ball. And I think the Pirates may have liked it had Jones taken off for the plate.
Ryan was dead to rights at second base, and shortstop simply dropped the ball. Waiting, I don't know. Delayed steal or something? I'm not sure what that was all about. Looked like at the last minute, Ryan decided to. So they're going to give an assist to the catcher and charge the shortstop with an error.
Pitch to Alvarez, off speed, pulls it to the right side, and he's thrown out, but he gets a run in. Danny Espinosa with a nice play to prevent 2 runs. But the Pirates score Garrett Jones. Another run batted in for Alvarez, his 7th. And the Buccos now up 4-0.
That was a good job by Pedro, because he got deep into the count with Hernandez, and that can really mess up your timing. He hung in there, didn't strike out, put the ball in play, got himself an RBI, and the Pirates tack one on.
A very purposeful out. Well, Ronnie Cedeno a chance to cash in. He takes low and in the dirt. Cedeno hitting just 170. His struggles are noted.
You have a new backup. Brandon Wood from the Angels is in town in uniform. Took BP tonight.
Cedeno through the left side. That's a base hit and a run batted in as Domet scores. Keep the line moving. It is 5-0.
Saturday night action for the folks that had enough patience to sit through that hour and 10-minute delay.
Certainly Cedeno's got to be a little satisfied considering the struggles he's had at the plate. Comes up with an RBI. Now Jeff Karstens will take a strike. 0-1 to Jeff. Does not have a hit this year. He's 0 for 3. They're batting with 2 down to the bottom of the first. The 9th man to come to the plate against Livan Hernandez. 31st pitch for Hernandez is strike 2.
See what you can do here, Jeff. Put the ball in play. See if you can add to that pitch total. Get in that bullpen early. They're already working.
0-2 is outside. Well, Hernandez not that concerned about pitch count. He never has been. Teams have tried to hold him to 110, 115. Brian Broderick starting to loosen up, but he said when he was playing for the Cuban national team, it was regular for them to throw about 175 in a game. And there is strike 3, but the Pirates strike big time. 5 runs on 6 hits. Send 9 men to the plate. And you are watching Pirates baseball on Root Sports. And a run scored. He's got his action figure given out to all the fans tonight. Andrew McCutchen. The Pirates with a 5-0 lead. Adam LaRoche, first baseman. Well, he's been around a little bit. We've spent some time here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, didn't get the kindest welcome when his name was announced.
1 ball and no strikes to Adam. And he fouls this one away, 1-1.
Yep. Mr. Hernandez not having a very, very good first inning.
You're better than 30 pitches to get out of the first.
You know, we touched on it briefly in the first inning that the Pirates on this last road trip had a terrible time with their pitching in the second inning.
Roach to left center field, and this one's going to go off the wall of the bullpen. And LaRoche will pull in with a double. That's his first double of 2011. That's something that he has done a lot of in his career. Get those 2 baggers.
A chance to get this one. Hard hit and slicing away from Andrew McCutchen. That was 2 bases from the time he left the bat. We talked about the problems in Florida in the second inning. Three games, 11 runs. 2 runs, 5 runs, and 4 runs in the second inning of those games. So let's get on the other side of this inning number 2.
And a note on the Nationals' second inning, Steve.
That's their best?
It is their best. It's the best in the majors in terms of run differential from the first. It's a +12.
Their runs compared to opponents' runs.
Right, which means they'll score 15 runs. They have scored 15 runs in their own second inning, as opposed to just 3 in their own first.
Played 18 games, so been pretty consistent getting on the board in the second.
2 balls and no strikes. Wilson Ramos, the catcher.
And a very tidy, efficient first inning for Jeff Karstens.
He's fouled off. Yeah, good first inning at the plate for the Pirates. It's the first time the Pirates have scored that many runs in the first inning at home since they got 9 runs in the first inning of their game against the Brewers July 20th of last season. That was a merry-go-round that day.
9 in the first.
And the last time they had 5 runs in an inning was on the road trip against Cincinnati on the 18th.
Talk about a Jekyll and Hyde road trip. 3 out of 4 against the Reds, and then go to Florida. It wasn't a day at the beach.
No order. Pirates would win that game on the 18th, 9-3 over Cincinnati. Ground ball to Overbay, tossing to Karstens covering and advancing to third as LaRoche 1 out. Had a nice visit with Adam today and talked about his brother Andy, who's with the Oakland Athletics now, doing quite well. As a matter of fact, pretty happy with the Oakland organization. Things don't always work out one place, but sometimes they do in another place, and that's what Adam said is happening with Andy. Spent considerable time here in Pittsburgh. Adam, of course, has been with the Atlanta Braves twice. Was with the Arizona Diamondbacks last year, and he spent a little time with the Boston Red Sox too. To right field, this is going to drop in front of Jones and get the Nats their first run. Michael Morse with a little flare and an RBI, his 5th. Ian Desmond will come up next.
Continues to be an issue in the second inning. Hopefully it's a minor issue.
Well, one of the things you hope for from any pitcher is that shutdown inning after you get them a bunch of runs. You hope the pitcher can come out and have that shutdown inning.
Yeah, that's beyond the boards now.
So 5-1 is the score. Top half of inning number 2. The pitch. And that's inside to Desmond. Desmond was charged for the error on the throw by Ramos when Domet went into the delayed steal. Desmond had a good throw to deal with. He just didn't catch it. I suppose he took his eye off it and was keeping an eye on Jones at third. Maybe that contributed to his drop. This one is ripped foul down the left field side.
You never know.
25-year-old Ian Desmond out of Sarasota, Florida. Ranked third among National League shortstops in 2010, sixth in the majors. 4 3/4 total chances per 9 innings, and did very well, showing good range. A good young defensive shortstop. In fact, their middle infielders both show great promise. Espinosa at second base and Desmond the shortstop. Of course, Jerry Hairston filling in at third base until Ryan Zimmerman gets back. Zimmerman with an oblique strain. 2-1 pitch. That's a tap foul. Count will be 2-2. So Adam LaRoche leading the inning off with a double. He has come around to score, and a ground ball, not a ground ball, but a flare to right. Ramos grounded out. So Michael Morse is the runner at first base with one man out. Pirates middle infielders looking for two here. Throw to first, and getting back is Morse. Jeff Karstens looking in at Ryan Domit. Finally has the sign he wants. And a ground ball towards short. Cedeno to Walker for one, back to first, and they'll just get the one. Desmond runs very well. He got down the line in a hurry, so now there are two down.
Yeah, and you combine that with the fact that Ronnie Cedeno had to go deep in the hole to get that ball that was not sharply hit. This ball never had a double play written all over it. You get what's available, and that's what the Pirates did on that play.
So here's Jerry Hairston. 167. Not the start he'd like offensively. He takes inside ball one.
I don't think you kind of semi-work around him to get to Livan Hernandez. Hernandez has 10 career home runs.
Want to know the count. Desmond at first. And two men out. Pirates up 5-1. There goes the runner. Domit's throw down. Not in time. And a stolen base for Ian Desmond.
His eighth.
He's just pulled into a tie with Jose Tabata atop the National League chart.
Not a great jump, but good speed.
That puts Desmond in scoring position. Matt Kemp of the Dodgers also up there in that stolen base list, leading the National League. Karstens comes in low, 2-1. Jose Reyes of the Mets also with 8, and Michael Bourne has been speedy lately. So there's a logjam now. Top of the leaderboard in stolen bases in the National League. Two-one. Chopper to third base, and Pedro will take the out there. I would say he went out of the baseline, wouldn't you?
Yes. Indeed.
We're through an inning and a half. Pirates with a 5-1 lead. Tonight's PNC achievement centers around Andrew McCutchen. August 1st, 2009. Not once, not twice, but 3 times McCutchen would go deep in a game against these Washington Nationals.
Now that's what you call having yourself a night.
That's our PNC achievement, brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in you. Here he is leading off the bottom half of the second. Pirates a 4-run lead, 5-1, after a 5-spot in the bottom of the first inning. Livan Hernandez, a 1-ball, no strike count to McCutchen. And the pitch. There's a strike.
So just to make it official, if you're keeping a scorecard, the 5 runs, 3 earned, 2 unearned. But it still adds up to 5.
Still count. 1-1 pitch. Almost 2-1. The Nationals are the only team in Major League Baseball that has received at least 5 innings from its starters in every game this season. Pirates trying to change that tonight. Ooh, McCutchen out in front of that one.
Well, you got to figure the Nationals pitchers are well rested because what, 3 rainouts in the last 7 days. So I mean, well, the bullpen is fresh.
Yeah, and the last thing they wanted to have was another doubleheader, because that can be very taxing on your bullpen, playing that much in that short amount of time. 3-2 now. And as a result of losing the off day Monday for the Nationals and having the game rescheduled with the Pirates here Monday night, the Nationals will now play 16 straight days, weather permitting. Outside ball 4. Wow. And McCutchen is aboard for the second time tonight. Well, Kutch heads down to first base. Let's head up to section 333 where Lacey is with Kutch's crew.
Tim, I got all the way up here and didn't even need a cape. Now, I've joined the co-founders. This is their season debut. And Evan LaFrance, they did some preparation for today, including a tweet to a certain Pirate. Tell me about that.
I was sitting in my dorm room a couple days ago, and I tweeted to Joel Hanrahan, not expecting him to tweet back, asking him to give us a shout-out at today's game. And about 45 minutes later, he tweeted back and said that the only way he would is if one of our members wore dreads. And so we got some dreads right here.
Now, these guys also have a new addition. You've got a new poster with the Root Sports. Now, there's details there that you guys added.
Yeah, we have the official Root Sports logo. We have the TM on it, the trademark. It's looking pretty official.
I've also been honored as a member of the Kutch's crew. I asked them about the name. They don't really know how it began, but they like it. They've made T-shirts, and I hear you guys are taking applications.
We're taking applications to anybody who enjoys the Pittsburgh Pirates and Andrew McCutchen, and anybody who wants to come up here and sit is completely welcome, especially my 2 friends, Steve Blass and Tim Neverett.
Well, there you go, guys. Evan LaFrance laying it down. They would love to see you up here sometime, but Kutch's crew definitely represent and excited to see him on first base right now.
Is this the sign for Kutch's crew?
I don't know, but I'm going to tweet.
Is that the secret handshake?
I'm going to tweet these guys as soon as possible.
Do you even know what that is?
Yeah, it's a sound a bird makes.
Okay. Well, Evan and his fans or his friends are looking for more fans, looking to grow Kutch's crew. Having fun up there. There goes McCutchen, and he's in with a stolen base. He's going to try for another, and Keel's got a gun, but McCutchen beats him to the bag. A stolen base for Andrew, and then the error on the catcher. Ramos will get him to third.
And those people are action figures. Well, didn't know if that was a good decision or not with nobody out, but all's well that ends well. And you're right, Ankiel has a gun, but he didn't really get a good release on that ball. That had a 2 or 3 hopper into third base. He can throw the ball a lot better than that, but maybe caught off guard a little bit, maybe picked up a little bit of a wet baseball. There was a little bit of a drizzle out on that surface. It wasn't covered.
Infield in for Tabata, and he goes to right field and fairly deep. Ball carrying well. This one is going to be caught by Worth up against the wall, but that'll score McCutchen easily. Sacrifice fly for Tabata, his 5th run batted in of the season, and the Pirates now lead it 6-1. Turned into a nice at bat for Tabata.
Yeah, when you're in this situation, when you get off to a big start and you add a run, it feels like 3 runs to the opposition because you're out there and it's just making it look that much more of a deficit. So easy pickings for Andrew to score, and the action figure continues to provide action.
Now Overbay takes inside and low, ball 1.
So from the National standpoint, if you're giving up a lot of base hits and you've committed 2 errors and 3 pass, that translates into a problem.
And that's going to be a fair ball. And Overbay's out. Well, that thing might not have gone a foot and a half maybe. Just an unfortunate break for Lyle Overbay, and he is out. 2 gone here in the second. So Neil Walker will have a turn.
I wonder if Neil feels like he's been left out of the party already.
Well, Neil got to visit with some folks from Pine Richland today that were here as part of a Neil Walker Pirates experience. They were in the dugout during batting practice. Got to chat with Neil and see what it's like down in the field. He will take ball 1.
I had a chance to be out at Cranberry, Giant Eagle at Cranberry. Met some folks from Pine Richland, a couple graduates stopped by and said hello. Manny Sanguillen and I had a chance to meet a lot of good Pirate fans. Giant Eagle and Cranberry. Had a good time.
2-0 to Walker. Now you and Sankey get around, don't you?
Tandem, yep. A lot of fun. I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun spending time with Manuel de Jesus Sanguillen. It is a treat.
Now it's 2-1. You'll be spending a lot more time with him too, and a number of your other teammates, as you celebrate the 1971 World Championship team this year, 40th anniversary.
Yep, during that Baltimore series, latter part of June. A lot of fun. I think June 20, 21, 22. See all the old troops. A lot of fun at the ballpark here. 40 years ago.
Only seems like 38, right?
Yeah, on occasion.
It'll seem a lot less in the distance after you guys all get together for sure. Walker, a 2-out walk. He'll head down to first base rather, and Garrett Jones will come up looking for another hit.
The only problem with that whole thing is it happened again today out at the Giant Eagle in Cranberry. People come up and say, you know, I knew you guys won the World Series, but I was 4 years old. I was 1 year old. I was in 2nd grade. My great-grandfather used to take me to watch you play. That becomes more and more of a theme.
How young is the great-grandfather? That's the question.
Well, yeah.
Might be young. You never know.
Well.
Jones doubled in a run in the first inning.
We do have a great-grandson.
And he rips this one foul. Happy belated birthday, by the way. I know we were on the road when you had your birthday.
Thank you. Yep.
49 again?
49 again. Yep.
How do you do it?
I don't know. It's hard to do when it feels like there's about 3 birthdays every year now. They're going so fast. Got some nice cards. So got a lot of cards from the crew. Everybody but Pete sent me a nice card.
There's a strike.
But that's
Parrot.
That's only because the gift is coming.
The Parrot send you a tweet?
No, but he should have.
Bad bird. 1-2 to Garrett Jones. Walker off of first, and Hernandez will throw over there. Talk about the running game and guys who have the green light like Talbot and McCutchen. With a guy like Hernandez, you can run on him when he throws that breaking pitch. If you guess the breaking pitch, you're going to get a good chance to steal second base.
You get an extra step or two. That ball's getting to home plate.
1-2 to Garrett. And that one is poked right at Desmond. Throws him out. That does it. Pirates get a run. No hits. And 1 man left. We're through 2 full. 6-1 Buccos.
Sports is sponsored by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Back here at PNC Park, top of the third inning, Pirates up 6-1, and Jeff Karstens pitching to his opposite number, Livan Hernandez. Hernandez will take a strike.
Tim, you were talking about trying to throw up a 0 after your team scores. Well, if you can't do that and they put up a 1, then answer their 1. That's what the Pirates did.
Tapper to the left side, Cedeno. Nice easy toss, and there is quickly 1 away. This day in Pirates history. Go back to April 23rd, 1998. Francisco Cordova pitched a 5-hitter in the first complete game of the season for the Bucks. A 7-0 win over the Giants at Three Rivers Stadium. So this day in Pirates history, brought to you by our friends at Day Automotive.
Saturday night tonight, I remember a Saturday night where he had a much better game.
He had a little help from Ricardo Rincon too.
Yep, a no-hitter. Saturday night, it was Jackie Robinson, commemorative night, and full crowd, full house at Three Rivers Stadium. Just a dazzling game.
Pitch outside to Espinoza, count even, a ball and a strike. Espinoza struck out swinging in the first inning. One appeal down to third. Doug Eddings says that Espinoza did not go. 2-1. Espinoza last year came up and did pretty well with the Nats. It's over the mound. This could be trouble. Walker bare hands throws. Oh, he got him. What a play by Neil Walker.
Sparkler.
A barehanded play on a chopper up the middle, and Walker retires the speedy Espinoza for out number 2.
These plays fun to watch. You know he's got one shot to barehand it and release, and have a little something, a little mustard on the throw. Nice.
Brings up Rick Ankiel. And Ankiel takes sign away. I told you before that he had a win at Three Rivers Stadium as a pitcher. That was September 13th, 2000. Go back 11 seasons. Ankiel came up pitching with the Cardinals.
Well, I got kind of a special spot in my heart for Rick Ankiel, what he went through after being a phenom. I mean, 11 wins and looking like he was on his way on the fast track to a terrific career as a pitcher, and then went through all those miseries.
Pirates infield shifted over. Walker in short right field for him. And they count full 3-2. Well, he's had a lot of personal challenges too with family. As a kid growing up, his dad never around, in and out of jail. Just a real bad story, but he's been able to overcome all of it. And Overbay will get it in foul ground.
Well, the thing was to go through what he had to go through as a pitcher to realize it was not going to be there, and then reinvent himself as a major league hitter. I mean, that is a simple sentence. That is unbelievably difficult to do. It's tough enough to be a major league hitter when you have done that all your professional career. Now, yeah, he was a good hitting pitcher, but that is not the same as being a productive major league hitter.
And he takes strike 3. And Karstens sets him down in order and gets Ankiel looking for the final out of the top of the third. There's Manny's Barbecue at PNC Park. 6-1. Bottom half of the third with Steve Blass and Lacey Collins. I'm Tim Neverett. Ivan Hernandez pitching to Ryan Domet. Domet takes inside and low for ball 1. 5 runs in the bottom of the first. Another run in the bottom of the second.
What you want to do is add on as much as you can, as often as you can. Never know how many it's going to take.
Espinosa from the outfield grass throws out Ryan Domet. And there is now 1 away. Fans, you can take the Pirates with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today. See every Pirates game live or on demand on your computer or your favorite devices. Visit Pirates.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere and anytime. Around the clock if you want. Pedro Alvarez batting with 1 out. Pedro grounded out to Espinosa at second base, but produced a run on the play. Garrett Jones came in to score. He struggled for a while, but that average up over 200 and climbing now. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. The home run he hit, Steve, against the Marlins in the series finale. 435 feet was the estimated distance. It was mashed. It was one of those where you knew right from the sound of the bat that it was gone. It would have been a field goal right down the middle of the uprights, too, at that stadium, that football stadium. 0-2, fouled off.
That's the kind of home run that when you come into the dugout, the guys don't even have to finish the sentence. They just said, "Did you?" As in, "Did you get it all?"
Well, what
or
they
you say, "Did you?"
His teammates gave him the silent treatment, too, because that was his first one. He didn't have one in spring training either. It had been a legitimate drought for Pedro, and his teammates just sat there on the bench and didn't give him the attention he deserved, and then he put his bat away. Then they finally came around. And this one skied to left center field. Well, carrying pretty well as Ankiel had to backpedal to record the second out.
Before the game actually got started, there was a pretty good definitive breeze going from right field all the way out to left field and left center. So there was a carry, and there still is some of that left over, as you see. Old Glory right on cue.
And if you're just joining us right now, saying you're only in the third, well, we had an hour and 11-minute rain delay for fear that a heavy storm was going to come into the area. Fortunately for the Pirates, it stayed south of downtown. And didn't really affect the ballpark all that much, even though there was some rain here. So an hour and 11-minute delay. 1-0 pitch to Cedeno. Takes a strike, 1-1.
And the crowd that hung in there rewarded with a very nice active bottom of the first inning for the Pirates. 5 spot.
Nice night out here. 67 degrees at game time. And Cedeno shoots it to right center. Going back is Worth. He won't get it. Cedeno burning towards second base, and he'll be in with a 2-out double. 2 for 2 for Ronnie Cedeno.
Maybe trying to give our new infielder a little taste of what he's got in terms of a challenge if he wants to play much. Coming out of the chute with a base hit RBI and now a double for the gap in right center. And Ronnie will show you flashes of that ability right there. It's just that not consistent enough. You'd like to see it more often.
Cedeno at second. Jeff Karsten's at the plate. And Brandon Wood, the newest Pirate.
See if Jeff Karstens can help himself right here.
Pitch outside for a ball, 1-1. So Wood coming over from the Angels. They had designated him for assignment. But he has a lot of experience as a major leaguer, as a shortstop, third baseman. He can play second. Karstens toward the middle. Desmond will grab it and throw him out. That will do it. No runs, a hit, a man left. We're through 3 full. 6-1. Pirates with the lead. Jeff Karstens trying to keep the Nationals down. Pedro Siriaco came up for 1 day, was a placeholder, and had to be sent back to Indy today. Josh Rodriguez designated for assignment. Off waivers yesterday from the Angels. Wood very excited. Told Clint Hurdle yesterday on the phone before he got on a plane that he was getting on the very next plane and couldn't wait to get here. He looks at it as a great opportunity for him to revive his career. Former first-round pick of the Angels in 2003. Ronnie sees a shortstop show up, and he's 2 for 2. And Jason Worth clubs this one deep to left. Tamada going back. He's at the wall, and this one's gone. Jason Worth with his 3rd home run.
And that one had enough, but with the air pushing that way, it made it even more impressive. Well over the 383 sign. Almost up into that second deck. This one was high and long. Up and in the wheelhouse, as they say. And Baya.
Now Adam Moreau, she's 1 for 1 with a double. And this one will stay fair. Karstens could have tagged him out, but he throws to first anyway. And that's the first out of the inning. And Jason Worth with a long one right here.
Yeah, this is impressive. He gets all of it, and then the wind helps it even more. Yeah, that almost up into that second deck.
Jason Worth last year with the Phillies drove in 85 runs. How many RBIs do you think Garrett Jones had last year? That's right, Steve. 86.
86. I knew he had one more than the big contract guy.
That's right. But the way that the free agent market was in the offseason, Jason Worth's timing was terrific.
Perfect.
He gets the big ticket from the Nationals.
The grandson of Ducky Schofield, Pirate shortstop.
1 and 2 to Wilson Ramos. And he fouls it off. Ramos, his first time up, bounced out to Overbay at first. He took care of it himself. 1 out, top of the 4th. 6-2. Ramos facing Karstens, and he strikes him out. Lacey Collins has more on the Worth family.
3rd-generation MLB families, including the Schofield Wirtz. There's another teammate, Jerry Hairston. The Hairstons are along that lines. The Colemans, the Boones, and the Bells. Now, a bunch of them have actually worn Pirate uniforms, including Jerry Sr., who played for the Pirates in '77. Joe Jr. Coleman played for the Pirates in '79. And Gus Bell played for the Pirates in the '50s. And because of that, Buddy was born here right in Pittsburgh. Now, I did speak to Jason Worth before the game, and I asked him if his grandfather had given him anything when he was playing, and he said just a lot of advice and a lot of chance to play baseball.
And Neil Walker throws out Michael Morse. Worth hits the home run. Gets another one up for the Nats. Pirates, a 4-run lead.
The bottom of the fourth. Ducky Schofield on that Pirate championship team 1960 did a whale of a job after Dick Groat hurt his hand in September. Ducky played a big part of that Pirate run to win the pennant and then go on to win the World Series. Ducky Schofield, just a great guy. Got to know him in spring training. Never failed to enjoy my time with the Duck.
McCutchen leads off for the third time. He takes outside for a ball, 1-1. 1925 World Series. You know who the Pirates beat?
The Washington Senators, didn't they?
Beat Washington, you're right. Popped up. And LaRoche wants it. We're talking about those third-generation baseball families. Of course, Jerry Hairston Jr. is playing third base here tonight for Washington. And Jason Worth in right field for the Nationals. Then the Bells, the Colemans, and the Boones. Baseball in the blood.
3 generations.
Jose Tabata batting with 1 out. Jose drove in a run in his last at bat with a sacrifice fly to right field, and in his first at bat he doubled and then eventually came around to score the second Pirate run of the game. And he's got himself another base hit. 1 out single for Jose. See how long he stays at first. Let's take a look at tonight's trivia question, brought to you by AT&T Mobility. Question tonight is, who were the first 2 players to make the All-Star team as Washington Nationals? First 2. I think I know the first one. You know the first one, or you know any of them? Either of them?
No.
No?
No.
I'm going to guess, and it's again, I'm going to guess.
At least I don't lie like the other color men.
That's right.
They guess.
They Google it up.
Yeah.
No, they really don't.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
yeah, right. Yeah,
one
right.
of them doesn't.
You're right.
I'm going to guess the guy throwing the ball here is one of them.
How about the guy that's on the disabled list?
Down the left field line, and it will slice into the seats.
Mr. Zimmerman?
Zimmerman. I don't know if that's too recent or not. What was the last year in Montreal? 2002, 2003?
Don't know that either.
But yeah, it's tomorrow's question. Tune in for that.
I won't know it then.
But Hernandez was with the Expos when they made the transition to Washington. This is his second tour of duty with the Nationals. Nice catch with the glove down the third baseline. And brought the proper equipment and knew how to use it.
Sign him up.
Oh, Todd Coffey, the relief pitcher, former Brewer, is out. Zimmerman got the left abdominal strain and a calf strain for Coffey. 0-2 pitch coming to Lyle Overbay. He'll wait as Hernandez steps off the back of the rubber.
You know, I swear I saw in the lineup when it came out, the official lineup, it had Paul Coffey on the DL, former.
He hasn't played in a while.
Pirate defenseman, or Penn's defenseman.
Up in the air for Ankiel in center.
A lot of people feel like Paul Coffey might have been the fastest defenseman this side of Bobby Orr.
Well, Orr's the guy they all look to. They all wanted to be Bobby Orr.
Coffey was pretty good.
Coffey was, tell you what, pretty close second. I'll bet if you ask Coffey, he'd say Orr number 1 too.
Yeah,
they all do.
Good luck to the Pens. Stumble this afternoon, but good luck coming up Monday night.
Tabata takes off, and the throw is into left field. Tabata's going to head to third base, and he'll get there standing up.
I don't know how they scored, but it's pretty neat to see Jose over at third base. I'm thinking he might have beat that throw even if they catch it at second base. Comes a moot point when it gets away into short left field, and he just strolls on over to third. There's the beginning. He takes off early. Livan Hernandez makes the play. But that throw from Adam LaRoche, I don't know if it's on time or not, and then it gets away.
That was catchable for Desmond.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be an error on the short side. He came down with a glove and didn't have the baseball in it. And could have.
So that'll be a stolen base with an error. And now Jose Tabata leads the National League in steals.
Well, they charge Adam LaRoche. I don't know if I agree with that, but it really doesn't matter. The third error charged to the Nats tonight.
And the second one on Desmond.
Tough combination. 8 hits, 3 errors.
2 down. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming. And Walker hammers it. Deep right center field. Way back it goes. It is caught up against the wall. What a catch by Worth. Boy, just a couple of feet separated Neil Walker from a home run. Ball hung up there for Worth. And Worth comes down with a spectacular catch and takes away extra bases from Neil Walker.
Base, watch that front ankle as it turns over on itself. Boy, that could be a little scary. And then jams it on top of that into second base. But he's out there in left field, and boy, those can be scary situations. Stretching it out a little
sure
bit.
That's loose.
Yep. That front ankle turning over on itself.
Desmond up in the air to right field. Jones settling underneath it. 1 down for the Nationals in the top half of the 5th.
Well, I thought for sure that Neil Walker had a home run. I mean, Jason Worth made a terrific play on the ball. Hit out there to the left of the 375 sign. I thought he just got all of this ball. And I think Hernandez thought the same thing.
He'll just have to try and do it again. Gave that ball a ride. Ballpark barely held it. Karsten steals a strike to Jerry Hairston.
Here once again, Jeff Karsten's giving the Pirates a good start to this point. A couple of runs on just 4 hits. Sitting on that 4-run lead here in the 5th inning.
1-1 now to Hairston. Hairston reached in a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning, hit into one, and then Ian Desmond, who was running from 2nd to 3rd on the play, was tagged out by Alvarez, who made the play on the chopper hit to 3rd base by Hairston.
By the way, they did change that scoring decision as we thought they would, from an E3 error on LaRoche to an E6 error on Desmond.
Ian Desmond with 2 errors, 3 total for the Nationals. Good pitch by Karstens. It's strike 2.
You got to like a lot of things about Jeff. As we said, he can give you innings out of the bullpen. He can give you a start, and he doesn't waste much time. You get the ball, wait for the batter to get in, get his sign, and he's ready to go, I think.
Here's the 2-2. And a ground ball to Cedeno. Circled around it, throws him out. 2 away. Well, we asked a question before. AT&T trivia question. First 2 players to make the All-Star team with the Washington Nationals. I guessed Livan Hernandez is one. I got the Chad Cordero the other.
"47 saves. I wonder how many they won."
In 2004, Hernandez was an All-Star. He chops this one to Cedeno. It's easy play. And 8 pitches for Jeff Karstens, and he sets the Nationals down in order.
Baseball on Root Sports is sponsored by Toyota. Buy right the first time and save more. Visit your local Toyota dealer for details. And by AT&T. Let's go Bucks!
And let's go Garrett Jones. Jones 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Pirates leading it 6-2. Bottom of the 5th. Lacey Collins and Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett. Jones takes strike 1 from Livan Hernandez, who enters the 5th inning. And we told you earlier, the Nationals, the only team in the majors that have had every starter go at least 5 full innings this year. And Jones up in the air, shallow right field. Worth has a beat on it. 1 away. Tonight's AGH Sports Medicine injury update centers around a pitcher that we haven't seen much of. He's been rehabbing and then gets so close to coming back and was hit in the temple by a line drive in the 1st inning Thursday in a AAA start. He never lost consciousness and was diagnosed with a facial contusion. But it's just setback after setback for Jose Escaño. That's our injury update. Thanks to our friends at Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
You didn't realize that your temple was in your face.
It's part of it, isn't it? Like, wouldn't you consider that?
The side of your head, I thought. But, yeah, I'd misplaced
Where's
things
the
all
border?
time.
Where's the border where your face ends and your side of your head begins? You're maybe?
I think that's on an individual basis. You know, people have different delineations of all that.
You got a fence? On this side of the fence is your face, on the other side.
You don't shave your temple, do you?
No, you don't. Well, not everybody, I suppose. I'm sure there's somebody out there who does. Speaking of not shaving.
Yeah, there's Yukon Cornelius.
There's Captain Redbeard the Pirate.
That is a serious growth right there.
2-1 pitch. And Doman watches it sail in for a strike.
By the way, I saw an old friend, knew him for a lot of years. He threw out the first pitch. Porky Chedwick, a legend in this town and a legend all around this whole area. The daddy-o, the radio, the platter pushing papa, DJ extraordinary in the city of Pittsburgh for so many years. Back into the 50s when he was the first guy to play black music in the Pittsburgh area on a regular basis on his radio shows, and used to oversee races on the Westinghouse high-level bridge back in the day. Used to officiate him. Here's a pop-up to Ankiel. But Porky, I mean, everybody that was anybody in that era knew Pork the Torque. And threw out the first pitch, had a little trouble with follow-through, but he got her done.
Got it done. Well, Pirates fans, we want to hear your questions about the game. We may even answer it on the air. So grab your cell phone, text the keyword booth, followed by your question and your name to 412-412.
But don't tweet me.
And we'll ask Steve the question. No, this is a text. There's a difference between a tweet and a text.
Okay.
So we will see what Steve has to say. You can pick Steve's brain on the game tonight. 412-412. Remember your name and your question.
Porky Chedwick. What a name. Synonymous to music in Pittsburgh. 93 years young. The Pork.
You get a nice round of applause from the crowd here tonight, too. 0-2 to Pedro.
You imagine lining up cars on the Homestead high level bridge. Go drag races. That was the Pork.
There's the 0-2 now to Pedro, and fouls it back, stays alive.
Porky Chedwick was honored up at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in
Cleveland, right?
Too long ago.
That was a different time in the media world, wasn't it?
Oh man, yeah. He says, "I'm going to play this music because it's good music."
0-2 pitch to the right side. Espinosa's got it, and Hernandez sets the Pirates down in order in the fifth. We're out of the sixth inning at PNC Park. 6-2 Bucks. Get the opportunity to throw out the first pitch. So go to facebook.com/RootSportsPit. Check it out. You might be tossing out the first pitch.
Tossing out the first pitch here in the sixth inning. Jeff Carson, who has been just fine, by the way. A tidy little pitch count for Jeff. That's pitch number 58. He's worked 5 innings, and in the past he has had difficulties. Not a high percentage at the time, but they'll watch him closely after the 5th inning because he's stretched out pretty good now.
Only 2 innings in double digits.
Yeah. Very, very nicely done. Jeff Karstens, after that delay, he was ready to go. First pitch, first inning, 9 pitches.
2 strikes on Espinosa.
That's what you call being ready, even in spite of the delay.
Right.
Ready to go out there. You know, you had to wait
But
an
that's
hour.
kind of his personality, though, Steve. I mean, whether he's
pretty
short
pretty
relief,
grounded.
long relief, starting, he doesn't care. And as Clint Hurdle puts it, he's one of those guys that doesn't have an agenda. And what that means is whatever the team asks him to do,
that's his agenda.
He'll do. And he doesn't squawk about it. He doesn't care. He's just, you want me to throw? I'll throw. And that's kind of his role in this club.
Now I'm here this afternoon. I'm ready to work for you.
Look at that.
Ball gamer right there. You know, you wear a Pirate uniform, you get kissed by the pretty girls.
Isn't
Simple as
that
that. Simple as that.
Many more Pirate games to come for that youngster. 1-2 the count. Nobody out. Top of the 6th. Top of the order for Washington. Espinosa and Keel and Worth. And that one just missed off the outside edge.
Yeah, Jeff has worked 5 innings. 3 of those innings he faced 3 batters. That helps. Strike zone, showing that ball just curving around the strike zone.
Full count now, and the payoff pitch coming. Espinosa ropes it toward right. Here comes Jones making the grab, and there's one down.
That always helps. That ball was hit right on the button, but at a Pirate defender. And when you're trying to stretch yourself out deep into ball games, you need a couple of those. They hit the ball right where they want to, or as hard as they want to, and it gets caught. That helps.
And Keel takes strike 1. And Keel with a base hit in the first inning, but was thrown out trying to stretch it for 2.
Nice. 67 miles an hour as he really pulled the string on that one. Threw him the old dead fish.
Again, the defense shifted over for him as Walker plays out in short right field. 1-2 now to Ann Keel. Struck out looking in the 3rd. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Karstens. And it's even at 2-2.
You know, when you're smoking along like this, why waste any time? And Jeff he's moving this game along.
He's catching the ball and throwing it.
Like it a lot.
And Keel lays off that pitch, and it's full. 3-2. Ray Searage, pitching coach.
Be liking what he sees tonight.
Yes. So far, so good for the Bucks. Payoff pitch just missed low, and he lost him. A 1-out walk to Rick Ankiel.
His first walk issued. He punched out 3.
That'll bring up Jason Worth. Worth 1 for 2. Hit that long home run to left in the 4th inning. .217, 5 runs batted in. He has 4 doubles on the season. Pitch to Worth, down and away. Well, right now is perhaps the time that you were talking about earlier, where the Pirates need to keep an eye on Jeff as he gets into the 6th.
Well, you know, this day and age, they keep an eye on anybody that goes into the 6th, but you know, particularly when you're not a part of a rotation on a regular basis. Now that may come for Jeff.
Strike in on Worth.
Right now he's doing just fine.
Good Saturday night here at the ballpark. Tomorrow, Easter Sunday, it's Kids Day. Kids 14 and under getting the Build-A-Bunny. And then Monday night. Remember, Monday night is the makeup game between the Nationals. And there's a strike. And the Buccos that was rained out last night. So remember that. Monday night. The bonus baseball out here.
Little appeal play down to first base umpire Kerwin Danley. Dana DeMuth, the crew chief behind the plate. And Danley, Nauert, and Eddings are on the base pass. First to third.
1-2 to Worth, 1 down, and kill the runner at first. Tried to come after him, gets away from Domit. And down to second goes Ankiel.
You know, I was watching one of the games on the road trip, but I think Bob Walk might have been working with you or obviously Greg, and talking about those sales jobs you do on your appeals. Get it out there right away. Act like you're absolutely sure that the guy swung far enough to get the call as well. It's just a wild pitch. If you hesitate, you're going to get very few of those appeal calls, because he who hesitates is not sure.
Well, if you don't believe it, or at least act like you believe it, how's the umpire going to believe it?
Yeah.
To right field and fairly deep. Jones in front of the track makes the catch. Ankiel heading for third base. Throw cut off by Cedeno. So now the Nationals with a man 90 feet away and 2 down.
Plus, add to that the fact that I don't think first base umpires want to upstage their guys behind the plate if they don't have to either.
Unless it's the crew chief.
At first base. Yeah. Now the crew chief is in back of the plate.
He's okay. Yeah, tonight he is. But if it's the crew chief at first, he usually doesn't hesitate.
I think they like to support their brethren, to tell you the truth.
So Adam LaRoche at the plate now with Ankiel at third. And the pitch to Adam is a breaking ball strike. Adam is 1 for 2, a double and a run scored.
The Pirate bullpen getting active just in case here.
Pitch outside. Adam, an avid deer hunter, does a television show called Buck Commander with Chipper Jones of the Braves and Ryan Langerhans of the Mariners. But look at that lead that Ankiel is getting. Ankiel came about a third of the way down the baseline, certainly within Karsten's vision.
Well, because Pedro Alvarez is almost 90 feet away from third base and 90 feet from third to home.
To first base. Overbay gloves it. Toss to Karstens.
Nice.
That's the inning. Nothing across for the Nationals, and Karstens is through 6. And the Pirates with a 6-2 lead on Root Sports. Time to check out tonight's Coors Light Freeze Can. Neil Walker gave this ball a ride back in the 4th inning, but Jason Worth is there.
How about the classic pose? That is the classic pose.
Great catch, and that's the Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Worth has had a couple hit over his head tonight, but that one he wouldn't allow. Walker thought he had most of it, if not all of it, but Worth tracked it down. Ronnie Cedeno 0-1 is Livan Hernandez. That's the bottom of the 6th for Washington. Pirates and Nationals. It's the only time the Nats will be in to Pittsburgh this season, but the Pirates travel to Washington twice. Once for a 2-game series, and another time for a 3-game series. 0-2, and Cedeno lifts this one up in the air to left field. He might have got a lot of it. Going back on it though is Morse. He makes the catch. Tomorrow the Pirates will battle the Nats. 1:35, another Kids Day at PNC Park. All kids 14 and under receive a Build-A-Bear Pirates Bunny. Compliments of Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Come early for the Family Fun Zone on Federal Street. Stay after when the kids get to run the bases thanks to H.K. Anderson Pretzels. For tickets, Pirates.com. Spend your Easter Sunday out here. Bring the whole family, and all the kids get the Build-A-Bunny.
Yep, the Pirates are in Washington in May and also in July.
Yeah, 2 in May, 3 in July. Feel patriotic being in D.C. on the 4th of July. Nice.
Need to have some fireworks there.
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of figurative fireworks in Washington most every day.
Pitch to Karstens. It's low and away. So Jeff batting here in the bottom of the 6th.
And why not? Doing a terrific job tonight.
2-1 pitch. On the corner, 2-2.
I think Clint Hurdle would be delighted to have Jeff Karstens give him 7 innings with 2 runs.
Oh, you'd love it.
I think you'd be delighted to have any of your starters do that. That used to be kind of a goal for your, at that time, unnamed quality start. 7 innings, 2 runs or less, you're getting your job done.
It's a bonus. When you have your spot starter out there going deep into a ball game, it's just an absolute bonus for your bullpen. And with the off day, now no longer an off day Monday, it's probably important at the beginning of this series. Nice play by Hernandez. And he throws out Karstens.
He is an athlete. There's no doubt about it. He's not a kid anymore. 36-year-old Livan Hernandez.
He's still known as one of the better fielding pitchers. He's a good defensive pitcher.
So gets this ball, kind of throws on the move. Really didn't have time to set himself. Kind of a parachute over, but the quick release is the reason this is an out. You really can't get much on the ball when you're up off the ground with both feet. The accurate throw. That's actually a much better play than it looked like. Quality play.
His rookie year in 1997 was the World Series MVP with the Florida Marlins. Also the National League Championship Series MVP. He won 2 games, including Game 5 against the Cleveland Indians in that series. 0-1 pitch. Sails outside for a ball, 1-1. One thing Hernandez has also done is win a Silver Slugger Award. 2004. First time he went to the All-Star game with the Nationals. He was the best hitting pitcher in the National League that year.
He got 10 career home runs. He's given the Pirates just 1 run since the first inning.
100th pitch for Hernandez. And it's a ball outside, 3-1 to McCutchen. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Cut's trying to get on base again. He has reached twice in 3 plate appearances. Base hit and a walk, a stolen base. Scored 2 runs. Type of things you'd expect the table setter to do. Get on, get over, and get in. 3-1 pitch to Kutch. That fills up the count.
Strike zone. That's a perfecta. Down and away in the corner.
There comes the payoff. Inside ball 4. And for the 3rd time tonight, McCutchen will trot down to first base.
And for the 3rd time, a free pass is issued.
Staying connected is now easier than ever. Text alerts to 412-412 for Root Sports Red Alerts. Get updates on when to watch your favorite local teams, exclusive offers, and more. Sign up for your Red Alerts today. Good idea.
Yep.
It's when the news comes to you. 2 outs, 1 on. Tabata 2 for 2. Over first, and back goes McCutchen. I think we'll see Andrew taking off here. He's got the green light.
Why not? You got nothing to lose, really. You get a man in scoring position, or else you allow Tabata to lead off next inning. Kind of a no-lose deal. Well, when we have time, I want to get on the editorial page about the technology again. I have to do it once a game.
Do you really? Once a game?
Yeah.
Is that your quota?
I can't help myself, but there's
there's
2 outs.
Let me text that to somebody. That's your quota.
You're all thumbs. You're all thumbs now. That's what you are. You're all thumbs doing this. You're going to get carpal thumb.
Carpal thumb.
This is what it's real quick. You watch the news now, and they tell you to go to the computer. All right. Yeah. Here's the story of what's happening in such a. But we're not going to tell you. Go to the computer. I turned on the television to watch the darn news. All right, I'm done. I'm fine now.
And the 1-0 pitch, by the way, is on the way, and it is outside 2-0. See, it's just a thing. It's just a thing about today. No matter which way you look at it, everybody's got a device in their hand. They're in constant communication with the world.
Whoop-de-doo.
Long stretch here. 2-0. There's a strike. Hernandez was waiting to see if McCutchen was going to break early.
Like he was convinced of it.
Somebody could have texted it to him that he wasn't going. Two and one to Jose. Now McCutchen takes off. Pitches outside for a ball. Throwdown is not there. Stolen base number 2 tonight. Good Desmond arguing for a call.
Yep, good tag applied there. Wow. Boy, the Pirates might have got a call there. Great tag applied.
That's Espinosa
applying the tag. And well, now it's right there, but saying that they didn't get him. The art of the tag is an underrated thing.
They put it right there, let the runner tag himself out, and that's what Espinosa did, essentially. But Kutch will get credit for a steal. And he's in scoring position, 3-1. And now it's 3-2.
If we can see anything more on this tag play. I think he's out. And that's the thing, eventually you can't be safe until you come to the base. So, Neil Walker almost got burned by going up on the body early in the game. Well, the hand came into the base. The base is the big item. You got to get to the base. And if you have the glove there, you're going to be out.
5th time in McCutchen's career he's stolen multiple bases in a game.
You start reaching out away from the base, and you got a chance for a lot of different parts of the body to get in there while you're touching the body. The leg, either hand. That's 4 items that can get that safe call.
Payoff pitch. And Tabata watches it outside. Ball 4. So 2 men on.
So we told you not much middle ground for Livan Hernandez. This is the 5th start. He's had 3 starts with no walks, and now 2 starts. Where in one of them he had 5, and now this one 4. So it's feast or famine, it seems like, for Mr. Hernandez.
Lefties have hit him pretty well. Tonight, Overbay is 1 for 3 with an RBI.
You can put a lid on this game pretty much right now. You run into one.
Just another note on McCutchen. The last time he had multiple steals in the same game was last July in an interleague game, mid-July against the White Sox, when he had 3 in one game.
And they can afford to play the shortstop up and back to keep him somewhat honest.
1-0 pitch. Overbay to left field. That's going to get down, and McCutchen's going to get waved home. Here comes the throw, and it's cut off, and they've got Tabata hung up. McCutcheon's run will count, however. He crossed the plate before Tabata was tagged out, and the Pirates add another one on. An RBI for Overbay, and it is 7-2 after 6 full innings at PNC Park. That's what it's like in the good seats right behind home plate. You don't normally get to see that. There's our cameraman off to the left of Ryan Domit. Just to roam around the ballpark and bring different views to you that you don't normally get a chance to see. Pirates get another run in the 6th. Top of the 7th begins with Wilson Ramos behind Jeff Karstens, now 0-2.
All right, give us one more inning, Jeff.
Well, big tip of the cap to Karstens tonight.
Yep.
For what he has been able to do. Ramos is 0 for 2. He struck out looking his last time up in the 4th, and in the 2nd inning grounded out to Lyle Overbay at first base.
Pirates do add on a run. It's a big run because they had not been doing anything since the 2nd inning.
Up in the air it goes to right center and deep. Jones on the run, and he will not get it. They'll play the carom, and Ramos will be in with a leadoff double.
Okay, if Pirates get a run, they do add on with a base hit by Overbay, but Jose Tabata with this play right in front of him. So sure why he made that move. There's the base hit. Throw comes in, and they're not going to get McCutcheon. They're simply not going to get him.
The putout will go 7 to 5 to 6. The third baseman Hairston came in as the cutoff, and the shortstop Desmond came over to cover third base.
So 7-5-6.
7-5-6. There's Michael Morse. Left fielder is 1 out of 2. RBI single in the 2nd inning. He drove in Adam LaRoche after LaRoche doubled. And he lifts this one into right field for his 2nd hit of the night.
Nowhere for that runner at second to go, but now you're going to see Clint Hurdle making a serious decision. Is he going to leave Jeff in now as the Nationals make a move here in the top of the 7th inning?
Well, Chris Resop has been warming up, and Resop has been tremendous coming out of the pen.
Yeah,
and now
I'm not surprised.
Clint Hurdle's coming to get him. And what
this
do you do?
Has been kind of the history for Jeff, but he has given them a great start tonight.
Absolutely. You got to tip your cap to Jeff Karstens. In a spot start situation, he gets through the 6th with a 5-run lead. He's the pitcher of record of the good tonight. The Pirates will try to do whatever they can to hang on for him and improve his record to 2-0 if they can. And Jeff Karstens gets a great hand, a standing O for the San Diego native Jeff Karstens. Pitching change at PNC Park.
Jeff Carson's a terrific start for the Pirates. He departs after going 6+. Good curveball, 3 strikeouts, but effective work all night. Doing his job, covering first base. Fastball right on the knees. Fastball right on the corner. And the fans reacting, and the tip of the cap by Jeff Carson's after good, strong performance coming on to make this start. And he'll give way to Chris Resop. Well done, young man. 6+, 6 hits, just 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Can win it, can't lose it. Jeff Carson's.
He's got Ramos at third and Morse at first base. Those are the inherited runners for Resop. And since the Pirates claimed Resop off waivers from the Braves last year, he has posted an ERA of 1.86. And his batting average against is just 170.
Nice set of numbers.
Ian Desmond, the hitter. And Resop deals, and there's strike 1.
One of those situations, nobody outrunners on first and third. Yeah, you'd love to leave the guy at third base. That, in a perfect world, that would be very nice. But you almost got to assume he's going to come in. You can stop the damage right now by saying, okay, I can accept that, but we shut off the spigot right after that. And keeping it that third run, you can live with that.
0-1 pitch coming to Desmond. There's a strike, 0-2. Chris worked on Wednesday night in Miami against the Florida Marlins. Pitched 2 perfect innings, striking out 3 of the 6 men he faced. This was impressive against his old team, the Marlins. He'd been with the Marlins and then the Braves before coming over to the Pirates. 0-2 to Desmond.
How do you think about strikeout a little bit?
And he got him.
Boy, was he late on that. All of a sudden, from 90 to 94, and Desmond was very tardy on that swing. Pretty impressive. That's a late decision that is a late swing. Extra mustard on that fastball. The AGH cam showing that strikeout.
Resop gets a big out. Middle infield still playing for 2. Hoping for a ground ball they can handle here. Jerry Hairston Jr. 0 for 2. Average down to 156 for the utility player. Resop's got some pop on the fastball tonight.
Interesting. Now that one's 90, and that was the speed before the 94-mile-an-hour fastball for the strikeout. So he's got 2 gears on that fastball. These situations, I would say, you kind of assume the guy from third is going to score, but when you get to 2 strikes, you think about strikeouts and perhaps leaving him there. And back to 94 again after 90.
Hairston, an opportunity now with the Nationals. Been around a little bit. Hairston digging in. Hairston's been with Baltimore, spent a lot of time with the Orioles. Made his major league debut in '98, the year after Livan Hernandez did with the Florida Marlins. He's also been with the Cubs, the Rangers, Reds, Yankees, and Padres.
That's a piker compared to the guy in the on-deck circle. 12 major league teams for Matt Stairs.
That's right.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites. Veteran.
He's a professional hitter is what he is.
Yes, he is. He has the all-time record for pinch hit home runs with 23, and his next pinch hit will be pinch hit number 100. I had a chance to sit down with Matt. We're going to play it on Greats of the Game because I think he's one great professional. He'll be my guest tomorrow on the radio side, pre-game show. 2003 with the Pirates, 20 home runs and with the equivalent of half a season, 300 at bats. Pretty good.
Strike 2, count full.
Now we can one pitch away from getting that second strikeout, and the runners have not moved, but still one pitch away from that.
Well, you'd expect Morse to be on the move, just to try to stay out of the double play. But we'll see what goes on. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Pirates a 5-run lead in the top of the 7th. Rysop's got his sign from Domet. The payoff pitch now. And he got it. Strike 3, the foul tip caught by Domet. Rysop has faced 2 and struck out 2.
As we say, the goals change. Thinking that runner is probably going to get in one way or the other, but now you got 2 strikeouts, and all bets are off.
Another big strikeout for Rysop. Now Matt Stairs pinch hitting in the 9 spot. And Stairs can be a spoiler. You hope he isn't tonight. Right at pay drive. And a tremendous inning as Chris Rysop comes in and douses the Washington Fire and hangs on for Jeff Karstens, inheriting the 2 runners and stranding him there. It's stretch time, middle of the 7th, and we'll take you around PNC Park and let you listen to the sounds and show you the sights of the 7th inning stretch.
To the ball game.
From the AGH cam, bringing you up to speed and where we are tonight as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Pirates with a 7-2 lead over the Washington Nationals. Right-hander Brian Broderick takes over for Livan Hernandez.
Hernandez run 6 innings, giving up 7 runs, 5 of which were earned, 9 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Broderick, a Rule 5 acquisition from the Cardinals organization.
And Neil Walker leads things off, taking a strike. Walker tonight, no hits, 0 for 2, and has been walked once. Walker up in the air to left center. On back on it, Morse. And he makes the catch, and Neil was 0 for 3, 1 down in the bottom of inning number 7. Now, Pirate fans, we want to hear your questions about the game. We may even answer them on the air. So grab your cell phone, text the keyword booth, followed by your question and name to 412-412. We'll ask Steve the question of the night following the 7th inning stretch. So you better hurry up. 412-412.
I think we already asked it. Why do pitchers lick their fingers? Because they taste good. Some answer to that question. Actually, pitchers lick their fingers because they tend to get dry, and you want you don't want dry fingers that slips around the baseball too much. You want to have that feel. If they get dry, it takes the feel away from the surface of the baseball.
2-0 on Jones. LaRoche will take it himself. And they're 2 away quickly in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Now it's Domet. Domet with an RBI single in the first. Grounded to second and flied to center. One ball, no strikes to Domet. Ryan not catching every day these days. Chris Snyder's been catching back-to-back days, sometimes 3 in a row. But Domet's still going to get his at-bats. He's still going to get plenty of time behind the plate. Glenn Hurdle said the other day that Chris Snyder is the #1 catcher on this team, but that Domet is going to get time. And he pops it up to left. And Morse underneath it, and the Pirates gone quietly in the 7th inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Bucks. We'll head to the 8th. 7-2 Pirates in front on Root Sports. Of Richmond, 3 out of 7. Triple, walked, scored a couple of runs. How about that, Steve? 6 runs batted in. 364 of his last 10 games. Curve won that game 11-5 in 15 innings. That's why he had 7 at-bats. But still, he's been doing a good job out in center field for the Altoona Curve in Double-A.
Beat those Squirrels.
Tonight in the minors, Columbus and Indy postponed in Ohio. In 11, Richmond beat the Curve 3-2. After Bannock went 7. And Bradenton knocking off Palm Beach 5-1. Gonzalez went 3 out of 4 with a double and a run scored. So Joe Beimel is now on. And Beimel takes over for Resop, who was impressive in the 7th.
Was he ever preserving those good numbers? The good numbers that Jeff Carson's put up were preserved by Resop as he did strand the runners at first and third. Strikeout, line drive to Alvarez. They never moved. It's kind of rare, but boy, is it a shot in the arm when that happens. And Jeff Carson's liking the preservation of his good numbers.
Espinosa, switch hitter, will turn around and bat right-handed against the lefty Beimel. Pedro Alvarez playing in on the grass at third for the right-handed hitter. So the top of the 8th gets underway as Beimel delivers. He gets a strike on the outside corner. Joe's one of those guys who's just a pro. I mean, he's been everywhere. He's had a lot of things happen to him. Been in the postseason.
Last time he pitched here was 2003 for the Pirates.
And he gets Espinosa to pop it up and foul ground. Overbay calls off Doman. There's one away.
As a member of the Pirates, last pitched here in this ballpark, 2003.
He joined the team on the road in Cincinnati. And on the road trip celebrated his 34th birthday.
Beimel on the bluff.
I'll face Rick Ankiel. Pitch to Ankiel. Swung on, fouled back. And you'd have thought with the time that Joe Beimel spent in the National League as a left-hander out of the bullpen, he'd have faced Rick Ankiel more than just 3 times. This is only the 4th time he's faced Ankiel in his career. Rick is 0 for 3 against him. And Beimel has struck him out twice out of the 3 times he's faced him prior to this at bat. You figure somewhere along the way maybe he would have come out of the bullpen to face him late in the ball game. But only 3 times. Well, ball and a strike to the Nationals center fielder. 2-1. The Pirates employ that defensive shift for him. Summer was hit by a pitch. The time he was hit by a pitch, the bases were loaded. So Ankiel gets credit for an RBI against Beimel. There are 2 strikes on it.
Joe went to high school up in St. Mary's and then wrote time at Duquesne and Allegheny College in Cumberland, Maryland.
So the Duquesne Sports Hall of Fame.
Yep. Beimel on the bluff, up on the bluff.
Beimel's 2-2 pitch to Rick Ankiel. His chop foul into the first base dugout.
They had those weather issues in St. Louis, but the Reds prevailed, beating the Cardinals in St. Louis 5-3.
And this one is a ripped foul down the right field line. Yeah, the Reds have a very good offensive team. They're excellent in their own ballpark. Ball really flies out of Great American Ballpark, but they're playing in St. Louis. The Cardinals had a rough start. Pujols a very slow start, but he's come on lately, as I think everybody knew he would.
No doubt about that.
And the 2-2 pitch again. Towards second, it's Cedeno. And that will be a 6-3 putout, even though he was over near second base.
All right, time to check out tonight's Coors Light Cold Heart Blast. There. And Jason Worth Long, tall, big home run for Jason Worth. And that's the Cold Hard Blast, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Here's the third home run of the year for Worth. Solo shot tonight. And he's back up there. Taking outside. Ball one. 1-0. 2 down. Top of the 8th.
Those are those real impressive home runs. The ones that just have all the height. It takes a long time for the ball to come down. The less embarrassing ones for the pitcher when you give them up. Those line drives, bang, done over the wall. Give me another baseball. But everybody gets to watch the tall, long, tall sallies that sail out. That's the ball that Jason Worth hit.
3-0 to Worth. Well, we told you about Cincinnati and St. Louis earlier today. Chicago and Los Angeles at Wrigley Field. Windy Wrigley Field, locked up in a crazy one. Looked like the Dodgers were going to run away with it, and the Cubs came back late and won it 10-8. It was ball 4.
$18,262 announced, and Adam LaRoche is announced.
Some of the Washington Nationals families get to go to the White House for the Easter egg hunting deal they have there for the kids.
Yeah.
And Adam LaRoche's family had an opportunity to do that as well. And he was telling me before the game that his family decided to come to Pittsburgh instead of having the opportunity to go hunt Easter eggs on the White House lawn. So they're going to come join Dad here, spend time in Pittsburgh with some old friends.
They have the Easter eggs here too.
They do. And he's got a ground ball to right field where Neil Walker was stationed, and he throws him out. So Adam hits right into the shift. And Bible, pretty good inning. Head to the bottom of the 8th. 7-2 Broncos. Seats in the all-you-can-eat seats today, just $35. 5 more on the day of the game. You get an outfield reserve ticket, all-you-can-eat hot dogs, hamburgers, nachos, popcorn, pretzels. You get the idea. And you can go back for more food and drinks as many times as you like. It's a great bargain, one you need to take advantage of. Visit pirates.com/all-you-can-eat. Nice thing about that, you get a special wristband and you get to cut the line. Not cut the line, but you have your own special line that you go into, and you don't have to wait with people who aren't in the all-you-can-eat seats. So you want to try to do that.
Indeed.
Well, tonight the Pirates with a 7-2 lead. Bottom of the 8th inning. Pedro Alvarez getting set to lead off. And Steve, the bulk of the offense came early in the game, but the pitching's been there. Jeff Karstens, I think, has been a big part of the story as Colin Ballister takes over here for Washington in the bottom of the 8th. But Karstens a big story. Reesop impressive with 2 on and nobody out. He comes in, slams the door, and Beimel pitching a scoreless 8th.
Yep. The 5 spot in the first, huge for the Pirates tonight. And yeah, the headline I would think in the papers tomorrow will be Jeff Karstens. I think he's the lead story. Terrific job.
Good reason to smile.
And you know, the psychological thing is Pedro's a little tardy there is that, you know, if that run scores from third base, it's still 6 innings, 3 runs. That's good. But 6 innings, 2 runs, I don't know. It's just 1 run, but it has a better feel. And you know, the numbers speak for themselves. But 6 giving up 2, this has a much better feel than 6 giving up 3. 6 giving up 3 is a 4.50 ERA. I don't know what 6 giving up 2 is, but it's better.
It's better than 4.50.
Yeah, it is better.
You'd take it. If you had 4.50, you'd take the other one. You don't want either of them. And Pedro down on strikes. And Pedro takes an 0 for 4 tonight. After driving in a run in the first inning with a ground ball out.
Curveball dropped in there right at the knees, and you see that ball being caught by the catcher way downstairs, but when it goes across the plate, that's a pretty good looking pitch.
Cedeno to right field down the line. Worth over there. Quickly 2 down. Cedeno up there, first ball swinging, and he is 2 out of 4 with a single and a double. You ready to root? We are. Here's where and when. Our upcoming Pittsburgh Pirates telecasts on Root Sports. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock with a pregame, 1:35 first pitch. Monday, radio only. And then the San Francisco Giants come in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, an early start at noon.
Come out and root for your Pirates. If you can't be here, check us out. Root Sports.
John Bowker is in as a pinch hitter. Hitting in the 9 spot. 2 outs. And the 1-0 pitch from Colin Ballister. It's over the outside corner for a strike. Ballister, 6'5" and 200. 24 years old from Huntington Beach, California.
Joe Beimel proving that, yes, you can come home as he pitches a scoreless inning, top of the 8th.
Desmond backs up. And the Pirates gone and ordered for the 2nd straight inning. So we'll go to the top of the 9th inning as Evan Meek will come on and try to slam the door on the Nationals. Good night all the way around for the Pirates, and hoping to end it on a good note as Evan Meek gets some work in a 5-run ball game. 7-2 Bucks with the lead as Evan comes on, making his 9th appearance.
And I never get tired of saying this. And the Meek shall inherit the lead.
There you go. Evan's been battling some physical things recently. He had some cold that wouldn't go away. And it's been a little bit more serious than a cold, I guess. But I talked to him the other day in Florida and said he was just starting to feel right. Wilson Ramos takes a strike.
Perhaps we can help him with some dietary suggestions.
What would you suggest first?
Well, I don't think he wants my diet. I'll tell you, you can take all you want, but usually the colds are going to run their course. You can buy all that stuff you want to.
If they're going to come and they're going to go. Do your best to prevent them, but everybody gets them. Back to the screen. It's just too bad you have to have one when it's sunny and 85 in Miami. But Meek trying to get that fastball to go where he wants it to, and trying to get his command back. A couple of hiccups here in the early part of the season, but he's shown good signs of life. 1-2 pitch. Up in the air to right field. There's Jones, and there's one down. Pirates fans, be sure to check out my-pirates.com/root to get all the scoop on all things ticketing, including details on upcoming big games, promotions, and exclusive ticket deals. The site, and more importantly, the deals, are updated frequently, so check back often and see what new info Randy has for you. Again, that's my-pirates.com/root. Strike to Mike Morse.
Randy?
Randy. Oh, Randy. She's in our commercials sometimes. Yep. See her around the ballpark and at pirates.com.
Okay. That Randy.
Yeah. 0-1. That's strike 2. Morse tonight has 2 hits and 3 trips, both singles. He's driven in a run, and Meek trying to get him out here. Bases empty, 1 down in the 9th. Pirates looking to win their 9th game of the season. Two more with the Nationals tomorrow afternoon, and then again on Monday night, the makeup from Friday's rainout. Did they just give Evan Meek a ball for going to his mouth on the mound? I think they did. I think it's 1-2 now. Home plate umpire Dana Demuth turned around and signaled that up to the booth.
You got to get off the dirt part of the mound if you're going to do that. Give that question to the booth before you can do that, but you got to step away from the mound area.
Did he go here?
50-50. There's the Nationals.
Bennett gets the appeal, and Kerwin Danley at first base says that he did not go. So the count will stay 1-2.
Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
Well, I hope you can spend your Easter Sunday with us, or at least part of it at the ballpark. If not, hopefully you can spend a lot of Easter Sunday with us here on Root Sports. Tomorrow's game starting with the pregame 1 o'clock.
Here comes Peter Cottontail.
That's right.
Hopping down the bunny trail.
He comes tonight, so we got to get into bed early. Strike 3 called. He got him.
Dana Demuth knows how to bring him up.
He doesn't keep it a secret, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Sit down. Morse down on strikes.
Sit down with that batter, but now the Pirate fans standing up, looking for one more out.
Jordan DeMuth wanted that ball thrown out. Meek went to his mouth again. Maybe there was some moisture on it, so he threw that ball out of the game. So Ian Desmond, 0 for 3, struck out swinging in the 7th inning. Pirates try to start this homestand in good fashion.
They want to get that bitter taste of the last homestand where they went 1-5. Get rid of that taste, that feel.
Well, Meek did get charged for a ball before the batter stepped in, so it is now 3-0. That's the second time he's been charged this inning with a ball for going to his mouth.
He must have heard about that call to the booth.
Now the 3-0 pitch, and he walked it. 2-out walk. In case you missed it around the big leagues, Brad Penny lost a no-hit bid in the 6th against the White Sox. Jason Bay hit his first home run of the season. Remember, he had that ribcage injury. And Angel Pagan placed on the 15-day DL for the Mets. Spring left oblique. And bad news for the Texas Rangers. They're very talented right-hander Neftali Feliz on the 15-day DL with right shoulder inflammation. What a year he had last year as a rookie. And now he's out for the next couple of weeks. So this will bring up Jerry Hairston. Runner at first doesn't mean anything here with 2 down. And the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Jerry Hairston hasn't had a hit tonight. Watched his average dip. It started at 167, now down to 152. The 0-1. He held up. One ball, one strike. And Meek just trying to hold it for Jeff Karstens. Karstens went 6+, gave up 2 earned runs, 6 hits, walked 1, struck out 3. His second start of the year. And he's looking to go to 2-0. 1-1. Popped up, foul. And that will be strike 2. So now the Nationals down to their final strike tonight. And then a short night for all and a quick turnaround, and we're all back here tomorrow for game 2 of this set. Evan Meek trying to punch the ticket of the last out tonight. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that is to the backstop or close to it. Down to second base goes Ian Desmond.
Nasty, wicked slider, breaking ball outside for a catcher. He's got to move out, and you never know whether that spin is going to take it back in on you as a catcher or just going to keep spinning out away from you. A little flashback to Bob Moose's wild pitch in the 72 playoffs. That exact kind of thing, that power slider. Sangy, you just don't know where the bounce is going to be. You try to get as much of your body in front of it as you can. Not always able to corral it.
Here comes the 2-2 from Evan Meek. Hey, struck him out. Meek strikes out 2 in the 9th. Jeff Karstens goes to 2-0. And the Pirates come home and take game 1 of this homestand and game 1 of this 3-game set with Washington by a 7-2 score.
Yeah, feel good ball game, Tim. You got that early offense. It was spread around, and then you got the strong work of all the pitchers tonight, especially Jeff Karstens. But, boy, what a job by the bullpen. They come in and just get airtight for 3 innings. And here's how you put a lid on a baseball game. Power, fastball, down and away, strike 3, game over, raise the Jolly Roger.
There it goes up the pole. And the Pirates with the victory tonight to raise their record to 9-11. That'll do it for our game coverage, but we'll have plenty more Pirates postgame coming up Homestand continues tomorrow afternoon, Easter Sunday on Root Sports. Pirates and Nationals, Game 2. It'll be Jason Marquis for Washington, Kevin Correa for the Bucks. Your time to root begins with a pregame show live for PNC Park beginning at 1. Then Bob Walk joins me for the call. Right after that, it's all right here on your home for Pirates baseball, Root Sports. So for my partner Steve Blass, Lacey Collins, and our entire crew, I'm Tim Everett. Stay tuned. Pirates postgame is next on Root Sports.